Yo, I am back. I need a better intro, man. This is terrible. But for today's video, we are going to be going back to our Warlock, and this time we're going to be going over a Void Warlock build using yet again the Contraverse Hold. I made a video on this a while back, and it did pretty good compared to my other videos, and I just wanted to revisit it and see how good it actually was within this season. And spoiler alert, it's amazing. Now with the Contraverse Hold, we're going to be using the Graviton Lance as well, a gun that I thought was terrible, but I am eating my own words at this point. It is severely underrated, and it is absolutely amazing for ad clear, but the only problem that it really has is dealing damage to higher tier enemies. But that's what we have our rocket launcher and our grenade launcher for, as well as our slovo bomb. Anyways, before we actually get into the rest of the video, I'm just going to say real quick, if you want to see a specific part of this video or a specific portion of the setup, then go ahead and check the timestamps down below and skip to whatever portion of the video you want to see, just in case you don't want to hear me ramble on about something you already know about. Alright, with that being said, let's get straight into this. So first things first, the Contraverse Hold. Basically going to be creating tons of black holes and regaining our grenade energy back constantly over and over again, to the point where we always have our grenade back and will always be clearing ads left and right with our grenades. Whenever we get kills while using the Contraverse Hold, we get a random amount of grenade energy back, so long as we're using Impulse Recycler as well, which I'll go over in just a second. First off, I just want to know, I'm going to go over my mods right now, and then I'll go over weapons, and then I'll finalize the video with the stats. So first thing about the mods is I am actually going to be using quite a lot of warmind cell mods. I'm using 3, and I'm using 2 elemental well mods. Now with the warmind cell mods, we're basically creating a situation where we always have explosives up. We have our grenade from Contraverse Hold that creates tons of nukes over and over again because we always have our grenade, and every single time we throw those grenades, we're going to be creating warmind cells as well, most likely because of Warmind's Decree. And Warmind's Decree, what it does, it basically just helps us create warmind cells with void splash damage. So our Graviton Lance as well as our grenades are going to be causing warmind cells to spawn, and not only that, those warmind cells are in fact going to be creating more warmind cells with us because of Wrath of Rasputin, as well as a mod called Rage of the Warmind. What Wrath of Rasputin does, its solar splash damage final blows have a chance to create warmind cells, and we're going to be getting that solar splash damage from our warmind cells due to Rage of the Warmind. It's going to be giving our warmind cells some solar damage, so every time we end up getting our warmind cells, we can proc it, and then those procs from our warmind cells will then proc even more warmind cell mods. So it's just a constant cycle of warmind cell, warmind cell, warmind cell, and just tons of explosions. It's super fun. It's a bit OP, but it's still fun regardless. Alright, besides these 3 warmind cell mods, we have, like I said earlier, our 2 elemental well mods. The first one is elemental ordnance. We have to have this just because of how many grenade kills we're going to be getting, and what this does is defeating a combatant with a grenade spawns an elemental well that matches your subclass energy type, and with those elemental wells that we're going to be generating with elemental ordnance, we're going to be proccing Well of Tenacity. Now with Well of Tenacity, we're going to be getting reduced damage taken from combatants for a short period of time. Now you don't really need to run Well of Tenacity if you don't want to. You can swap this with whatever you want, and honestly depends on what you're actually looking for with this build and with your elemental wells. You can swap it with Font of Wisdom if you're looking for more super regeneration, Font of Might if you want to do more DPS with your Graviton Lance, Elemental Charge if you want to become Charge of Light with your elemental wells, and so on. Now besides all the Charge of Light slot mods that we're using, we're going to be using mods such as Bomber as well. This, like I said, this is going to be granting us grenade cooldown whenever we use our class ability. We only really want to use Bomber if we don't get a kill with our grenades. Whenever we get kills with Contraverse Hold, because of Impulse Recycler as well as the intrinsic perk from Contraverse Hold, we're going to be getting our grenade back instantly. If you're not running Impulse Recycler and need to swap it for, say, Overload hand cannon rounds, which you will need to do in some cases depending on what activity you're running, then having Bomber will be extremely helpful. Another mod that I would like to go over is Ashes to Assets, gain bonus super energy on grenade kills. This is going to be helping us get our grenade back constantly, and if you really want to focus on more of a super aspect with this build, then I'd recommend going into Energy Converter as well and running some supercharged or charged up mods to help with Energy Converter to get your super all the way up there. Alright, and that's pretty much all I want to go over for the mods. Now moving on to our weapons, the Graviton Lance. I love this thing so much. It is actually very good and it's very fun to use, and it can absolutely shred all ads in any vicinity so long as they're not too beefy. Now with the Graviton Lance, we're going to be using our ignition code, a grenade launcher, as well as our Hezen Vengeance. We don't really need to use a void rocket launcher even though we're using Warmind's Decree because we're also using Wrath of Rasputin, but you can swap this this out with whatever you want, such as Deathbringer or Two-Tailed Fox if you're feeling a little frisky. But if you want to have maximum fun, I'd highly recommend using the Graviton Lance. But if you're a boring lad, then go ahead and swap to Deafening Whisper or something and, you know, Deathbringer. The stuff that's always good. Although Deathbringer is quite fun to use. Alright, enough rambling from me. Moving on to stats. We have 100 discipline to maximize the grenade returns that we get from Contraverse Hold, and I'd highly recommend speccing into recovery as well, just so you can get more procs from Bomber. Resilience is always helpful for staying alive in endgame content, and intellect is very nice as well, although you don't really need it if you're going to be running Font of Wisdom. You can just swap out Well of Tenacity for Font of Wisdom. It's that simple, and you'll already have pretty much 100 intellect, and speccing into strength and mobility is a bit unnecessary in my opinion, but to each their own. Alright, and with that, I am going to end the video there. I know next video will definitely be the Severance Enclosure. I know I said I would do it last time, but I also said I might do a Warlock video, so I'm not fully a liar. I'm sorry. Sorry for the videos being so distant from each other. I've been spending a lot of time being lazy, and I gotta stop that. But anyways, enough rambling from me. That's going to be the video, and I will see you in the next one. It will for sure be Severance Enclosure. All right. Peace. Or maybe a Hunter one. Okay, bye. Bye-bye.